My work is inspired by my spiritual practice, and it manifests in abstract painting and through the use of metaphor. So, for example, when I'm exploring the sacred in profane, the sacred in the ordinary, and the ordinary in the sacred, I have used the metaphor of stepping stones. And this inspiration was derived from camping trips that I went on with my family when the kids were very young, and we'd always camp near a body of water, a stream, or a river, and there were many beautiful river rocks and stones that I would sit and draw for many hours, and then they would appear in the paintings as a way in which the viewer, kind of like an aid for the viewer, to move between the sacred and profane. And then most recently, my work has been very much inspired by my actual spiritual practice of meditation, as well as the death journey that I'm on right now, because I've been terminally diagnosed with cancer. And so those are the themes of my work, and so I use metaphor to explore those areas of inspiration. I feel that creativity is very important because I realize that creativity and spirituality are very much interconnected. They both come from a really deep place within every one of us, and both have a way of nourishing our souls and really helping us to see what our existence on earth is all about. And so I think that it's very important to explore creativity, and not necessarily as a painter or any kind of artist. Creativity manifests in many ways. It manifests in cooking, for example, or gardening. Anything that, I think how one can know what creativity is any kind of activity that takes us into a zone, where an area of, like what people talk about in sports or in music, where they're not really, it's difficult to explain, but not really here, but very much inside, and there's some kind of sacred spiritual energy that's manifesting while they're doing the activity. So it's important for everyone to go to that place on a regular basis, so that one doesn't fall victim to kind of what people talk about as being the drudgery of life. I think with creativity manifesting, there's no drudgery, and life can be really quite a wonderful, blissful experience. It's been a really, really deep learning experience, and not even just being an artist alone, but actually in the realm of living. And so first, I've learned that it's a very humbling experience. Humbling in the sense that, at times the ego of an artist is so big that it really does get in the way. And so learning how to not let that happen, despite the praise that comes from being an artist that makes beautiful things, as well as, of course, the criticism, which can be really, really hard on one's ego, and very harmful to the creative process if an artist does not learn how to process it and move on. So that's kind of a real important aspect of being an artist that I've learned, and it's also helped me in my regular life, although I don't feel that there's a separation between being an artist and the other things that I do in my life. And I've also learned that it's really, really important to be devoted to the work and be disciplined and persevere. Again, despite criticisms, again, despite any obstacles that come up. And to decide, and really see, is this something that I can continue to do? And so twice in my life, I almost gave up being an artist because I wasn't able to process in a skillful way the criticism that I'd gotten from, some people along the way of my career. And I thought, oh gosh, it's true, I'm really terrible, I should not do this anymore. But, really going to that low place and rising above it by realizing that I could not live with not being an artist. So that was a really important learning experience as well.